So, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna show you some key combination which I think can go tricky for someone and can be useful for those of you which use Windows 11 version, just because some of them are not available on Windows 10, and I'd like to show you some of the key combination which are new on Windows 11 and which I really like. For example, let's start with something simple. Like for some workers, that can be really helpful. You have one window open for information about something, and then another one, let's say with the word in it. Like you have to take a note about something, and it's get really messy on your, you know, screen. The thing you can do is press Windows plus left arrow, and for the information just you can find your window you can like to use here. I'd like to use Opera browser, for example, and now I can type here when already here, and I think that's a really useful feature. But I can just drop those two windows here like so, and if I need some combinations to save combinations, I can go here, and here I have combination set between Word and Opera GX browser. I can press on it and it's gonna automatically pair them too. If I want to minimize them again, like I've done my job here but I want to use them later, I can just come right to Opera or Word, then I can go and yeah. So there's a few things you need to know if you use those combinations. First one is that you can just open your window, like this for example, and then you can go up here, down here, minimize, left arrow, right arrow, left, up, let's go to the left corner, and then right is for the right corner, two times down, it's gonna be for the down corner, and left for the left corner. I think everything is understandable at this point. If you like kinda, I don't know, you're too lazy to move your cursor to like make your screen full screen, you can just press Windows and up arrow, which allows you to automatically make it full screen. If you want to go to your previous screen, you can just press Windows and down arrow. This will get you to the previous screen before you make it like full screen. Now, anything else which can be useful for you, I think is the basic key combination, which are like Windows plus A, which make you to the quick menu. Windows plus W is for different widgets you have, like phone link, like photos you like, and so much more. Another things are, for example, if your graphics card have a problem and you need to reset the drivers, you can press Windows Control Shift B and it automatically resets your drivers. That can be useful for a different tricky situations, and as I said before, they are saved here, like the operate. But I can close them for now, since I don't need them at this moment. Another tricky key combination which you can use if you are like PC user and you're like old school, you can open your window and then press Windows plus M, which can minimize them, and again Windows plus up arrow. Oh, my mistake. Uh, You can swap them, and when you release the Windows key, automatically give you a choice between different apps which you can pair with each other, which in my opinion is one of the biggest updates on Windows ever because it's really good for multitasking. If you don't really wanna second screen or something like that, you can just use those keys combinations, which are really useful, at my opinion. And now I can just minimize them. And then those of you which have a ChatGPT, for example, you can just press Alt and space, and you can search for different things here, like ChatGPT. But that's not all. You can search for things like Word, for example. You can search for things like everything you have on your PC. WhatsApp, maybe, I don't know, everything you like. And when you're ready, just press escape. So, what can I show you next? Yeah, Windows plus E is for Windows Explorer, which we all use much times. I mean, really much times. So, if you want to, for example, you open up Windows mistaken and you don't want to drag your cursor all the way to the X here, you can just press Alt F4 and it's automatically loads. The same is when you want Alt F4 to turn off the system. It works seamlessly. But for now, let's say, mm, for example, we wanna open something from our taskbar, and this can happen when you choose one thing. Like, for example, I have a Visual Studio code here, and that's my one, two, three, four, five, the fifth thing, sixth, sorry, sixth thing I have. I can press Windows plus 6 to open Visual Studio Code. For example, and I can again start F3, F4 to close it. But now, if you wanna quick change our language, like uh, we are typing something, for example, on a notepad, for example, and we wanna change our language quickly. For example, my natural language is not English, which for some of you makes sense why my English is so bad. But and yeah, if I want to change my language to Bulgarian, and I can do different things, that's not a real one though. But I can just type different things. This is with Control Windows space. This bring you to the only languages you use last. For example, I use only English, United States, and Bulgarian for native, for example. This way, I can just tap different keys without needing to reach here the language settings and change it by myself. The same is for Windows and space. This gonna get you to every language you have here on your menu, for example, which is super handy for some of us. And for laptop users only, you have quick gestures for your touchpad, which are not exactly key combinations, but they can do similar things. Like for example, we have a Alt tab, which allows us to choose between apps which we have on our desktop right now. And same thing is if you use three fingers combination and swipe that allow you to change in between the windows you have. And if you do it by mistake, you can just press escape. The same is if you, for example, open Wikipedia. Everyone uses Wikipedia. Yep. If someone knows why this browser is so slow, I'm gonna appreciate the information. But for now, I need to change my default browser, but I will do this later, after the video ends. And I just go Windows plus S for the search bar, and I can type, for example, Edge, which I use if my Opera browser waggy or glitch again, and I can just type Wik Wikipedia down here, and I can just open Wikipedia. Choose, for example, English, and if you don't want to, you don't have a mouse or something like that, and you don't want to go all the way to the slider and slide by your mouse, you can just hold your two fingers on the touchpad and swipe down or up. That's the way you can swipe more easily, and depending on your speed, you can slide more quick or slowly, so you can read. But it's really depends on what you need at the moment. So, uh, four fingers, for example, bring us to the deck desktop like things. And if you hold your mouse on one of the desktops, you can see what you have there. And if you hold it again with the other one, you can see what you have there. Same is if you want to change quick desktops, you can just four fingers and swipe left. My other one, except four fingers, swipe right. My other text. And if you swipe up with your three fingers and I don't have anything, you can just swipe up and see, for example, I choose Spotify again for my demonstration. I can swipe with three fingers down and Spotify disappears, just like the Windows M key combination. But if I swipe up, Spotify appears. The same is if I go on, for example, on the edge, if I swipe down with four fingers, it just disappears. But if I swipe up, it appears again. Just the main windows is changing. I mean, if I do it with three fingers, it's the same. If I do it with four fingers, it's the same. But the thing is, if you don't really have anything, you can just swipe up and up again with four fingers and bring you directly to the desktop pane. If you do it with the three finger gestures, it's the same. It just depends what's comfortable for you. I mean, yeah. But I prefer to use the quick gestures on the touchpad instead of key combinations because for me, I'm a laptop user and I feel like it's more comfortable to use the quick gestures on the touchpad instead of use key combinations. At some point, like the Windows plus I, for example, open the settings, I can do this with the quick gestures. But I know this combination, I use it for a long time and I don't really have trouble use. Windows plus R opens you a random, which you can type, for example, no, I do this so much times a day. And if you don't want to, you can like type Spotify, for example, and brings the Spotify up. If you don't have it open, it will open. But it's not every time only the name of the app. It allows me to search it by names just because those are the locations of the apps. If you want to open something specific like the file or something, you come here to browse and then you can go, for example, I wanna go to my homework, which I did the last, and then do debugging if I have something interesting here, but I really don't at the moment, so I can go back again and again and again. And for example, come to Bitwork 8.0. And for example, I want to open Christmas homework.exe and like I can type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it always asks me. But that's about it. Ah, what else I could show you? Mm, it really depends on what you need at the moment. Just because what I think is actually those combinations are super useful for framework workers or for programmers. It really depends on what you use daily. But I hope I was helpful for some of you, and I hope this video was interesting for some of you, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.